So when I first began learning astrology, I was a curious little critter and I dug deep. So I took classes, attended seminars, read books, read articles, watched videos. I mean, you name it, I was in there learning. And I found that most described a Leo rising as extremely extroverted, the life of the party, that they are extremely popular. I mean, after all, they are represented by the mighty lion. They represent strength and resilience, and I learned that they love attention and crave it, and they love being in the spotlight, and attention is their currency. For instance, Muhammad Ali, he was a Leo rising, and he was not afraid to compliment himself in his younger days. And he looked at himself as if he was the greatest, and in fact, others also believed that he was the greatest, which is what your rising is. Your rising is the lens in which you view the world and the way that others perceive you. Now, some Leo risings will fit this profile, but to me, the rising sign is something that we rise into. It's like a scale, and you can be at all different levels of Leo, from totally unevolved to completely evolved. Think of Scorpio. There are some people that are unevolved and still scorpions. And then there are some that have transmuted to the eagle, and they kept pushing, and they transmuted to the phoenix rising out of the ashes. And that's just like a Leo rising. There's a scared little kitty on one end, and then there's a proud, regal lion on the other. And you were born somewhere on this scale if you have this placement. Now, their journey starts out in the environment in which they were raised. It's very important. Now, in some cases, a Leo rising was born to parents who supported their natural creativeness and helped cultivate that, and really didn't put them down for that, encouraged it, whatever that may look like to the native. Maybe they liked singing or acting, painting, sculpting, creating designs, building things. I mean, Leos can create a lot of things. They're really great at creating solutions. It can be a lot of things, but their parents supported their potential. Now, before I go deep into this, I do want to say that every Leo rising has this potential in their chart. They have this energy. It's like a rock sitting at the peak of a mountain. All it has at the moment is potential energy. It is not moving. But once it starts moving, it has the capability to go down all kinds of different paths to get to the end destination. So all Leo risings have this creative talent that they should receive recognition for. But it's the path that they take once they start moving that determines how fast that they get there. Some Leo risings take the direct path. Some take the hard, rocky path. Some, they never go anywhere, and they keep that rock at the top of the mountain. Now, I do want to make this point before I go on into any deeper secrets of Leo rising. As I've said in my other videos, I am going over one very small part of your chart. Now, in your natal chart, there's literally hundreds of combinations of energies and aspects. You can have different houses and signs and placements and asteroids, and I mean, there's so many things that affect your chart. But it's how it blends as a whole, which makes you who you are. So let's go a little deeper. Now, we know that Leo risings are on a sliding scale between scared kitten and roaring lion. And their early environment can really have an effect on where they enter adulthood on this scale. Now, like I said, there are some Leo risings who are supported, or they are the children who are in the spotlight in their family. Maybe they're an only child or the only grandchild, or they were born to two parents that really wanted a baby and they just tried forever. There are definitely Leo risings out there like this. But what about the Leo risings on the other part of the scale? What did their childhood look like? Most of the time, if the Leo rising was not supported in childhood, you found a family system where the parents would love you if you did something. If you did all your chores every week, then they love you and praise you. If you make straight A's, get into the honors classes, then they love you. If you make it to Yale or Harvard, then they love you. If you make it to college on a baseball scholarship, then they will love you. It doesn't really matter what the if is. These can be the children that realize the only time that their parents recognize them is when they were behaving exactly how their parents wanted them to behave. And this is to not fault the parents. You know, sometimes we think we are doing what's best for our kids when really we're hurting them. Like maybe a parent pushes you, but that's because they want you to be the best. Because as a Leo rising, you send off this energy to others that you can be the best. Like I said, Muhammad Ali had this placement. And when he came on the scene and started telling people and he started telling the press that he was going to beat Sonny Liston and that he was the greatest, the announcers and the fans kind of felt like, hey, you know, here's this young kid talking smack to this veteran. But also at the same time, there was just something in his energy that told people he actually might be the person that beats Sonny. The thing with Leo risings is they do naturally give off this energy, even if they're introverted. That if they do need to stand up and fight, they can, they will, and they will conquer. So don't even try to mess with the king of the jungle. I mean, Muhammad Ali was in high school training to be on the 1960 Olympics team. Imagine being a senior in a public high school training to go to Rome when you graduate. He was on the road to big things early in life. One thing about Leo risings is if they have to buckle down and work hard and hustle and lock it in to get something accomplished, they are the ones that can do it. Only if they want to. But they have enough strength and willpower to overcome about anything if they want to. That's a key point. Okay, I know I got off topic, but let's revisit the Leo risings who felt like they had to put on a show and be someone that they aren't in order to be liked or loved by someone that they hold dear. You know, not all Leo risings are these great extroverts that are just super popular. If anything, it's all a show. These are the Leo risings whose parents may have meant well, but because they created a family system where the little Leo rising only felt validated if they performed to their parents' standards, they created this personality trait within a lot of them, a lot of Leo risings, where they feel like they have to put on a show around others in order to be liked or accepted. This is why you can find some Leo risings are the warm and affectionate friend who is happy and jovial and comedic and is popular and charming and charismatic when in a group of people. But when they get home and they take that mask off, they can feel like no one actually knows the real them. I mean, Marilyn Monroe had a Leo rising. Think of how her outward personality showed. It showed how beautiful and charming she was and how happy and jovial and warm she was. But can you imagine the real Marilyn when she was behind closed doors? When she didn't have to put on this mask to pretend to be someone she wasn't? Marilyn had a hard life, but you would never know it. Because if you didn't know about her history and only based your assumptions on how Marilyn was portrayed by the media, you would think she was happy and bright and stunning, just like the sun. You know, Leos are ruled by the sun, so they can be warm and affectionate, but also with the sun, you can get a little too much of it and get burnt. We will talk about the shadow traits of Leo rising a little later on in the video. My point with Marilyn was that there was this inner conflict within her of expectations of others versus who she was authentically. You know, it reminds me of that old Native American saying that goes, you have two wolves in you, one good, one evil. And the one that grows and gets stronger is the one that you feed. On one shoulder, a Leo rising can have a wolf that is telling them to do what the people want them to do, so that they can be liked and accepted and they can make a career and be successful. On the other shoulder, the wolf is telling the Leo rising to go your own way, to do what you want to do regardless of what others want. And until they evolve, they will have a fight between these inner wolves within them because they both feel like they are right. And so Marilyn, as well as other Leo risings, can feel like they have imposter syndrome. With a Leo rising, you are very aware that people watch you or are watching you. So you can't help but feel like you have to perform. You are quite literally on stage and you're the actor and the other people in your life are the characters. It can be exhausting performing all the time. That's why you find some retreat and become introverted. You know, Dolly Parton once said, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. And that's how Leo risings view popularity. It takes a lot of energy to be this popular. And depending on the other aspects of their chart, they may just not want to focus their energy on popularity. I mean, poor Leo risings, they even have societal expectations as to what a Leo rising is supposed to be. You can't be shy or introverted. You're a Leo rising. Are you guys paying attention to all of these expectations that are placed on them? Now, as a Leo rising grows older and moves out on their own, they may find that they become different in some way from their parents. Maybe the Leo rising grew up dirt poor and they made a vow that they would work as hard as they needed to make sure that they never lived in those conditions again. Or maybe the Leo rising grew up with parents that had this chaotic relationship and the Leo rising vowed that they would have a stable relationship for their kids and for themselves. Or maybe the Leo rising grew up in a home with certain religious values and they grow up and end up in astrology or some alternative belief system to their family. It can manifest as a parent being a lawyer or a doctor, maybe the owner of a trash company. And the parent wants you to follow in their footsteps and carry on the family name or the family business. And you may want to be a nomad that travels the world and blogs about it and makes $10 million making TikTok videos. I don't know. It can manifest where you change something about how your parents raised you. I'll tell you one thing a lot of Leo risings change is when they become parents, if they are evolved, they allow their children the freedom to be who they are. They are not the if parents. They will love their children unconditionally. Their kids don't have to meet requirements in order to be loved. They do this because they know how it feels to have to meet all of these things that people want from them just to feel loved. So a lot of Leo risings transform that thought pattern, especially if they have kids later on in life. They can also love traveling with their children and having their children learn through experiences. They can be the ones that want to take their kids to a cave to learn all about it, not necessarily learn from a book. Like they'll take their kids to the Titanic shipwreck versus reading about it in a book. And when they meet their romantic partner, they will be attracted to someone who is unique in some way. Maybe they're from a different country, or maybe they have an unconventional job or dress in an unconventional way. Leos love someone who is unique. They want a partner who is different and not the same as everyone else. You know, that's really why they can love custom jewelry and things like that, because they want things that set them apart. Anyways, Leo risings can be quite protective over their family and their close to loved ones. Now, I'm not saying if you're with a Leo rising or you have a parent who is a Leo rising that you won't have to deal with some moodiness, because you most definitely will. But overall, Leo risings have hearts of gold. In fact, if I ever think of gold and the Zodiac, I automatically think of Leos. And they can be givers as well. Speaking of giving, hey y'all, I just wanted to break in and announce that I recently got to 300 subscribers and I am absolutely ecstatic. So to celebrate, I am going to be doing a giveaway where I give one lucky subscriber or someone that comments on any of my videos from here until November 30th, 2024. You enter in for a chance to win the Spirit Junkie 52 card deck of affirmations. Now this one is my own personal deck that I have, but I absolutely love it. So I wanted to go and get another deck and share it with one of my subscribers or people that comment on my video. So just look at all of these beautiful colors and stunning artwork on all of these cards. I mean, they're all so pretty. I don't even know which one to pick a favorite. And I love colors. Like, I'm a Lily Pulitzer kind of girl and I love colors. I really like all of the artwork in here. And there's also great messages. Like, it's not just the artwork. Let's draw one. Let's see what special message we'll have from Spirit today. I just like getting the different affirmations. The one that I picked. Send a prayer. Oh, I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. All right, so someone needed to hear that today. So today I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of a miracle. How beautiful. So if you would like, just leave a comment on any video. I will put your name in a jar, and at the end of the month of November, I will select someone and I will get this beautiful deck to you free of charge. You just have to be a part of my gang. Ain't those just darling? Be sure to enter. They're beautiful. But my little Leo risings are typically givers. You know, they have Virgo in the second house, and Virgo is the sign of service. And they have Pisces in the 8th house. Pisces are the ones that have $20 to their name and they give $10 to the homeless man, and then they just believe that the universe is going to take care of them somehow. So Leo risings can be givers, and they can know that everything will somehow work out for them in the end. Since childhood, Leo risers have been able to make good out of whatever was given to them. So they have learned to go without, because some Leo risers got nothing and some got a lot. They can go through the struggle a little while to build themselves up better than before. But let me tell you something. Most of the time, you never know that a Leo rising is struggling. Leo risings don't like feeling weak at all, and struggling is a weakness to them. That's also why if you date a Leo rising and you say or do something that should hurt them, and they act so like nonchalant about that what you did, you know, and that you actually get hurt. You're like, wait a minute, we've been together like 20 years. What do you mean you don't care if I was flirting with that other guy? Do you not care about me? But really, the Leo does care. I mean, it's a fixed sign with a heart of gold. They care, and they care a lot. But let me tell you a little secret. They are not gonna show that they care. Leo risers hide their wounds and their vulnerabilities. They retreat to themselves. They may cry alone. I mean, they have an incredibly hard time displaying that they can be the scared, hurt little kitten that's inside. And they don't want others to know that they are just a kitten inside. That's extremely vulnerable to them. Honestly, one of the Leo risers that I know would never ever open up and be vulnerable or display their charming personality in a group unless they had been drinking. That's the only way it would come out. Most Leo risings can't even stand the feeling of weakness. It's a tough feeling to process when you're a lion. I mean, you are literally the king of the jungle. The elephant is bigger than you and still not the king. You're the king, and you're represented by the sun. You can't be weak as the sun. Things depend on you. The thing I want all Leo risings to know, and Virgo risings for that matter, is it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to have flaws and wounds and hurts. You're not weak because of it. You're human. And we're spiritual beings here having a human experience. You're gonna have flaws. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people that get mad at you because you do what makes you happy. We all have this. And I want to remind my Leo risings that maybe today you are that little kitten inside, or maybe you're going to be a cat today, or maybe sometimes you can be that lion when you need to be. But it's okay to realize you cannot be that lion all of the time. You know, Dolly Parton puts on all kinds of performances, and she still does to this day. She can't be on stage all of the time. Even Dolly gets tired, and she has to have time to herself to be things other than a performer. Really, Leo risings, your life is like the Lion King in a lot of ways. You start out as Simba, and as you go through the fire of trials and tribulations, you are able to become the lion, which rules over your kingdom no matter who tries to take you down. And really, a Leo rising is the only person that can take their self down. They give their own power away when they need that validation through other people. But it's their mission this lifetime to grow that self-esteem and that self-worth and to be who they authentically are for the world to see without any inhibitions. The Leo rising placement gives them the opportunity to face all the fears that hold them back from the spotlight. Some will get there and some will not. Pride can trip up my little lions. If they become prideful, they can waste a lot of energy being petty or argumentative with others. And honestly, the worst thing that they can do is be prideful with themselves and think that they do not need to work on themselves and that they are just perfect just how they are. I don't care who you are, you can always improve yourself and set a new standard. So do not let this silly thing trip you up, my little Leos. Y'all are beautiful. I don't think I mentioned this, but with Leo on the Ascendant, you are very beautiful and have stunning features. So if you have a Leo rising, tell me all about it. I love hearing from people that have this placement because, like I said, when I was learning about astrology many moons ago, I learned all the evolved things. And while this is true, it didn't accurately explain others with this placement. So if you have this placement, let me know how your childhood was like. How are the things with your children now, if you have any? And my little Leo risings, if things have been rough lately and you need a little self-care, then I invite you to visit my Etsy shop where I create astrological gifts. I even made a special unique Leo box filled with lots of Leo items. Now this is a rare item. There is only one in the entire world and it is filled with things hand selected by me. I had so much fun putting Leo's box together. Honestly, I suppose I felt the Leo's evolved energy while I made it. I absolutely love the gorgeous lion statue. I love that it's not heavy or bulky, yet it's powerful and stunning. And I love y'all's stickers. The artwork is beautiful. And y'all already know I love color. So the tapestry that comes with this box is absolutely one of my favorites. I love the colors on that tapestry. They are so vivid. So if you know a Leo in your life, or you are a Leo rising and you just need a gift, dang it, be sure to head over to my Etsy shop. I do have some other boxes as well that are full of other great items. And it's a great way to support me and my channel and spoil yourself with some goodies. I would say that's a win-win, right? So if you are interested in what the ascendant or the rising sign means in greater detail, then I encourage you to watch my video called The True Meaning of the Ascendant. It goes over everything about the ascendant that I didn't cover in this video. I wanted to focus on the Leo part in this video. As always, my beautiful lions and lionesses, I will see y'all in my next video. Mwah!